Our next inductee is Master Sergeant Constance Beisinger, U.S. Army retired. Master Sergeant Beisinger is the epitome of Army women. As a young 18-year-old high school graduate in 1967, Connie joined the Women's Army Corps and was stationed at Fort McClellan, Alabama, as a member of the WAC band. Managing training events such as the gas chamber, she enjoyed this unique experience that most women had never done before. In 1970, she left the Women's Army Corps as a Specialist 5 to raise her family. In 1973, Connie moved with her family to Virginia and joined the Virginia Army National Guard as a signal specialist and the first female non-commissioned officer. She learned her military occupational skill through the on-the-job training and scored the highest test score in her signal unit, proving how competent and skilled women could be if given the opportunity. Connie was promoted to Staff Sergeant in the Virginia Army National Guard just before she transferred to the Washington Army National Guard. During the 1988 Army reorganization, Connie's unit was transferred to the reserves, and she was promoted to Master Sergeant. Connie eventually moved to the State Inspector General's office as an AGR Master Sergeant, Inspector General, a position she held until her Army retirement in 2004, having served 33 years of uniformed service at the time. Connie traded her battle dress uniform for civilian attire, returning to the State Inspector General's office the next day as a GS-9 Inspector General. Connie Beisinger has faithfully served her country as both a soldier and civilian employee for over 50 years. Connie Beisinger served as an exceptional role model for all Army women and has remained a mentor for countless men and women in both the Washington Army and Air National Guard. She is recognized as one of the most trusted, respected, and revered individuals in the entire Washington National Guard. For her incredible work ethic, patriotism, and caring demeanor, which have had a direct and exceptional impact on our total Army force, as well as forging a path forward for future Army women, Master Sergeant Constance R. Beisinger is inducted into the Army Women's Hall of Fame.
I want to thank the Women's Army Foundation for this honor. It came as a complete surprise. No one told me. I want to thank those who saw something in my experience and thought it worthy of this honor, and then took the time and the energy to nominate me. I want to thank my family for their support throughout my career. I would also like to thank my mother, who taught me that I could do most anything if I was willing to work for it, and who started me on my way when, during my senior year in high school, she found an Army recruiting advertisement in the local newspaper that stated the Women's Army Corps Band needed oboe players. Opportunities for women musicians to play in a professional level organization were very few in 1967. Even in the military, only the Army would accept women into their musical career field. And the Army segregated us to the 14th Army Band, which was located at WAC Center at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Over these many years, the Army has made many changes, and there have been many changes in me. The Army learned that women could do more than type and cook, and I learned that the structure and the regulation and the attitude of service at all levels to our country and our units and our fellow soldiers meant more to me than the music. I enjoyed and learned from every job I did, in every unit I served, But most of all, I enjoyed and learned from my fellow soldiers. Coming from every part of the country, they had ideas and experiences to share that broadened my perspective. I learned that my way was never the only way, and that by working together, men and women, and trusting each other to get the mission accomplished, there was very little we couldn't do. The Army will continue to change and grow with ever-widening opportunities for its women soldiers. My wish for today, for myself and for all those who have served or are serving now, is to look for openings to reach out to young women in our communities, high schools and junior high schools, who don't understand the many careers and opportunities that the Army has to offer them. To share our experiences on how being of service to our country within the Army has been a worthwhile and fulfilling role. It's always very easy to find someone who will give you a negative view on military service. It's an important thing for us to give a more balanced voice, to share our experiences, good and bad, but also being truthful and confident in our expectation of the continued growth in the Army and its soldiers. Again, I want to say how grateful I am for this honor. Thank you. Thank you very much.